Hi, my name is Mary. Today FM plays the best music in Lambasa. Today FM rocks.
My name is Thomas. I'm here in Nakasi and I like to listen to Today FM because it rocks.
My name is Milenia. Today FM rocks here in Singatoka.
My name is Alfriki and Today FM rocks here in Tavua.
My name is Mary Jane. I love listening to Today FM here in Ba. Today FM rocks.
My name is Ilay Tiambal and I love listening to Today FM. Today FM rocks here in Osur.
Today's hit music on Today FM.
In the news tonight, mill breakdown penalty to be paid to farmers. 21 families affected by TC Winston get new homes. And USP students raise questions at Budget Roadshow.
From the studios of FBC Suva, Jackie Spate.
The 3 sugar mills have so far crushed over 281,400 tonnes of cane compared to 276,315 tonnes last season. The FSC had also introduced a mill breakdown penalty this year, with the first payment to be paid out soon. Felipe Naikaso has more.
The 3 sugar mills have managed to reduce stoppages by 12% despite facing mill stoppages in the first 2 weeks of the crushing season.
The major repairs and upgrades to our mills, which we have carried out, again are paying dividends in terms of improving operational efficiencies.
The FSC has announced that less than $20,000 will be paid out next week as a breakdown penalty to farmers who were affected during the Mbai and Lambasa mill stoppages a few weeks ago.
At this stage, the calculations are being done. They'll be paid with the cane payment next week. And as I say, that's paid, as we heard earlier on, $3 to the farmer, $2 to the lorry operator.
The planning for the bulk sugar exports program for this year is also well in advance.
The first cargo for 2018 is expected to start loading in mid-August. This will be destined for UK, Europe, and will be followed in early September by the loading and shipment of Fiji's US quota entitlement.
The FSC has also highlighted the crop forecast this year is showing signs of improvement, and if the trend continues, then 1.75 million tons of cane could be harvested this year. Felipe Naikaso, FBC News.
The nightmare of losing everything during Tropical Cyclone Winston in 2016 is now a thing of the past for 21 families of Nauo'o village in Ovalau. Villagers who had lost everything and did not know what their future was 2 years ago shed tears of joy as they entered their new homes to begin a new journey. Ali Kimbia was in Ovalau and filed this report.
This was Nauo'o village following the devastation caused by the Category 5 monster cyclone 2 years ago. And after more than a year of waiting, their prayers have been answered.
We are really happy. We don't know what else to say with what the government has given us, and we thank Grace Road for building our houses.
The new homes are hurricane-proof, has a strong foundation, and are very adaptable for families living close to the coastal areas.
It's just like a dream, or watching pictures of houses on magazines. These are one of the most beautiful and quality houses that we've ever seen.
With the cost of $1.4 million, the residents of Nauo'o village are still counting their lucky stars to be the first recipients of this housing project.
I'm very thankful from our house that was damaged, and it is totally different with everything that is provided in the new house.
After the destruction of Cyclone Winston in 2016, the 21 families here at Nauo'o village in Ovalau never in their wildest dream knew that one day they will own a house like this. Ali Kimbia, FBC News.
The government's $1,000 parenthood assistance payment is effective from today, after it was passed in the 2018-2019 budget. This is aimed to help low-income Fijian families to cover the costs of having and raising a newborn child. Maggie Boyle reports.
$5 million has been allocated to the parenthood assistance payment that has come into effect today. To be eligible, the child must be born on or after today, have a mother who is a Fijian citizen residing in Fiji, and live with parents whose total income is $30,000 a year or less. Under the initiative, mothers will be entitled to $1,000, $500 of which will be held in trust for the child when they reach year 1. This payment is applicable upon the birth of her child, whether it be her first, second, third child, and so on, will be granted the $1,000. Meanwhile, new leave entitlements like the family care leave, paternity leave and the extended maternity leave are expected to come into effect from January 1st next year. Maggie Boyle, FBC News.
A number of issues were raised today with the Minister for Economy and Education during the 2018-2019 National Budget Roadshow at the University of the South Pacific. Issues ranged from tertiary education loan scheme to accommodation and e-ticketing. However, a question on people being laid off in the Ministry of Education grabbed everyone's attention. Anna Ravulo with the details.
An interesting start to the budget roadshow as one student from USP questioned the Minister for Economy and Education on why people were being laid off.
A best friend of mine yesterday called me. He actually works in your ministry, has been laid off, 7 of them, in the HR division.
The minister responded that there are reasons why people are being laid off.
I think it's a bit amiss of you to come and stand here and say, 50 of your mates have been terminated. Maybe their contracts came to an end.
The student then further asked Gayum whether laying off people is the cost of the budget.
Are these the measures that we're starting to see that our people will start to pay for the cost of such budget?
You don't fund budgets by firing people. Anybody would tell you that.
We've been getting partial payment and pro rata payment of 50% first and 50% later. And we have our own landlord who doesn't accept partial payment coming in, especially when we apply for accommodation allowances.
We are very acutely aware of the lack of accommodation and the availability of accommodation at reasonable costing. In fact, we are talking to FNPF at the moment regarding that.
The National Budget Roadshow is expected to continue for a few more days in other institutions as well. Anna Ravulo, FBC News.
Still to come, more than 631,000 voters registered, and taxi operators caught providing false information to LTA. Details after the break.
Bula, neva ngo malakai leloma ngo ngai nakas ondo bagrong ng Bula FM nambang 2 na sere.
Hoya ubasit sai sa Lambasa, ya ondo talita na barong ng Bula FM nambang 2 na sere.
Gua da tumeli ako na tao no hinga toka. Talita kina na barong ng Bula FM nambang 2 na sere. Wana tuma ng Bula FM nambang 2 na sere maluan.
Neva ngo fane na tao ngo singa toka. Kita ondo talita ka ng Bula FM nambang 2 na sere.
Bula FM nambang 2 na sere.
The Levuka-based Pacific Fishing Company will now be able to store around 4,000 metric tons of tuna in their new cold storage facility. This is a major boost for the tuna industry in the country, as Prime Minister Vorenge Bainimarama opened the new $16.4 million facility yesterday. Ali Kimbia with the details.
PEFCO has come a long way since its establishment in 1964, and the opening of a new storage facility will improve capacity.
PAFCO is expected to increase production by 10% each year. Today, the normal daily production is 80 metric tons, or in terms of whole fish, around 6,400 fish per day.
The Prime Minister says the new facility is a bold step for the government to continue to support PAFCO.
These cost savings, paired with financial benefits of increased production and more efficient storage, will be felt at every level of the company, as PEFCO will be in a better position to invest back into its infrastructure and its people, creating even more jobs for the people of Lomaiviti.
PEFCO Board Director Iqbal Zanif says they will now be able to increase production.
We now have to ensure that we can source sufficient fish to fill it. We have to ensure that through a planned maintenance program, we are also able to replace our aging equipment.
Known as the economic heartbeat of the people of Ovalau, PAFCO has provided more employment opportunities for the people, and it is expected to develop more in the future. Ali Kimbia, FBC News.
631,895 voters have been registered as of yesterday. Supervisor of Elections Mohammed Saneem says they have recorded 3,572 new registrations since June. Saneem says of all registered voters, 313,239 are females, while 318,656 are males. Saneem says there's still time to register or change their details until the writ of election is announced.
In the Central Division, there are 261,603 voters. The Eastern Division has 25,941 registered voters. Western Division has 242,171 registered voters. And the Northern Division has 94,200 registered voters.
It has been discovered that some taxi operators awarded permits for Lautoka and Nandi zones over the weekend provided false information to the LTA. LTA Board Chair Vijay Maharaj is calling on the recipients who provided false information to return their permits before the 21st of this month. Catherine Krishna reports.
The LTA has revealed that some taxi operators lied about their combined household income, while some lied that they didn't have a taxi permit.
When people say their household income is less than $20,000, when they may be employed somewhere else, and earning more than that, that's one information that we found, but probably not true. And the other one is one of the requirements, one of the criteria is that you must not have owned a taxi before, taxi permit. And some people have told us, well, so-and-so in fact has one taxi. How come he's got a permit?
Attorney General Ayaz Said Kayum says it's unfortunate some operators provided false information and will now face the consequences.
Those people who made false declarations and received a provisional permit will no longer get that permit. And similarly, those people who may have missed out could now have an opportunity to get those permits. So, but we have to go through these investigations and then see what comes up from it.
The LTA has confirmed they're working on verifying information provided by applicants from the two zones after more than 1,300 permits were awarded last Saturday. Those found guilty will be charged and will face a jail term of 1 year. Catherine Krishna, FBC News.
The Hibiscus Festival will for the first time be held at the Vale Level grounds in Nasino this year in the hopes of creating positive vibes and a unique environment for the festival. Stall owners currently operating businesses at the Sinu Festival are excited by the announcement as they plan to rake in more profits come Hibiscus. Kritika Kumar reports.
The Hibiscus Festival has always been held in the heart of Suva. However, this time it will be held at one of the most populated area in the Central Division.
Like with the Hibiscus, it is the mother of the carnival, and we know like the crowd will be pouring down to Nasino. And yes, Hotbird Kitchen will have a very good benefit from it.
It's really interesting and it's really good for the people of Nasino here. It's really near and it's really safe, also safe here. So I love it. People, plenty of crowd over here. It's really good. It's a really good environment to have it here.
With the Sinu Carnival ending on Saturday, most of these vendors plan to continue their business during the Hibiscus Festival.
Hibiscus is the mother of our festival and people will come and I will continue to do my business here.
Hibiscus in Vale is very good because we have plenty customers. Everything we can do from Hibiscus since last year. It's better we put a stall here in Vale Level.
I think it's okay and it's good for us, and because we'll be opening our stall here too.
Meanwhile, the 2018 Hibiscus Festival will be held at the Vale Level grounds from the 11th to the 18th of this month. Kritika Kumar, FBC News.
In sports later with Jamie, young cricketer ready to make his debut in the East Asia Championship this month. But up next is Rachel with business.
Thanks, Jackie. Good evening, and coming up after the break. New plastic bag levy in effect. And in growing Fiji, more than 3,000 street lights to be installed by year end. Stay with us.
Lola, I am Eleanor. For the best classic hits, I only listen to Gold FM here in Singapore. Gold FM, only the classic hits.
My name is Yeni Rawa. I love listening to Gold FM here in Nosuri. Gold FM, only the classic hits.
My name is Dino.
I'm from Outrigger, Coral Coast, Singatoka. I love listening to Gold FM, only the classic hits.
My name is Salote. I love listening to Gold FM here in Surrey. Gold FM, only the classic hits.
Bula, my name is Marida. Gold FM plays the best classics here in Outrigger, Singatoka.
Gold FM, only the classic hits.
In business tonight, the 20 cents plastic bag levy that was announced in the 2018-2019 national budget came into effect today. The 10 cents plastic bag levy that was introduced in the previous budget has now increased to 20 cents to discourage the use of plastic bags and promote the use of reusable bags. Meanwhile, retailers that do not have the point of sale registers and are now charging customers the new plastic bag levy will be liable to a fine of $25,000. This also applies to retail outlets who are registered but are not charging the 20 cents levy. The increase in the plastic bag levy is part of the country's aim of achieving complete ban on plastic bags by 2020. And we now join Sharon from HFC Bank with the latest from the currency market.
Financial markets continued to settle after the Bank of Japan indicated it will commit to extremely low interest rates at least through late 2019. In contrast, solid U.S. economic growth is likely to keep the Federal Reserve on track for another 2 interest rate hikes this year. The Fed's preferred inflation gauge, the core personal consumption deflator, posted a benign 0.1% gain in June. The annual pace held steady at 1.9%. The market will therefore keep a close watch on U.S. Federal Reserve's monetary policy statement expected for tomorrow, and traders will definitely look for any clues for future hikes. Closer to home, New Zealand's unemployment rate ticked higher to 4.5%, missing expectations of a steady reading of 4.4. However, their employment change figure came in at 0.5%, beating the forecast of 0.4. And that's all from me, Pinaka.
Thanks, Sharon. Taking a look at today's currency exchange rate set this morning for the Fijian dollar. Our dollar was strongly on the rise against the US dollar, the Kiwi dollar, as well as the PNG Kina, the euro and the Japanese yen. And there were minor slippages against the other currencies, that being the Chinese yuan and the Aussie dollar. As for the commodities market, the price of oil dropped to just above $68 per barrel. Gold rose past 1,223 an ounce, and silver closed at 15.46 an ounce. And in Growing Fiji tonight, around 3,000 street lights will be installed by the Fiji Roads Authority this year. Currently, there are around 10,000 street lights in the country, and there's a need for more. Pranita Prakash reports.
The Fiji Roads Authority plans to install more than 5,000 street lights over the next few years.
This year there should be about maybe 3,500 this year. There's an ongoing programme to install new street lights, around about 5,500 in total, but it crosses 2 or 3 years. In this year there'll be at least 3,000 installed.
The FRA has also identified areas where the street lights will be installed.
We've got a plan to do the new street lights on the plan along the Kings Road and the main highways, the villages on the main highways. But we're also looking at doing some urban centres as well. Now, when we do urban centres, it doesn't involve the installation of a pole necessarily. We can put it onto a building.
This has been welcomed by the public as it will provide more security.
Yes, it's good because it will help the drivers at night. A good thing, so that it will be very important for us people, since we have to work at night, we have lights instead of using our phones and mobiles and all the stuff. So I think it's a good idea.
Yes, it's good. I think because it will help drivers to provide more lights.
The government allocated the Fiji Roads Authority $5 million for the new financial year to install more street lights around the country. Pranita Prakash, FBC News.
And that's business for tonight. Jamie joins you now with sports.
Thank you, Rachel, and good evening. Up ahead in sports, 15-year record at stake for Nandrunga Rugby. And Vijay Singh suggests change the Fiji international dates. Details after the break.
Hi, I'm Jyotishma. I'm from Singatoka. I love listening to Mirchi FM. Mirchi FM is hot.
Mirchi FM is #1.
I'm Charlene Robert. Mirchi FM rocks in Lambasa.
I'm Soname Nasori Jackson. Mirchi FM is hot.
My name is Raymond Dutt. I'm in Baba Singh Alliance. Mirchi FM is hot in Lambasa.
I'm Pritika from Jax Nasori. I love listening to Mirchi FM here in Nasori. Mirchi FM is hot.
Mirchi FM, it's hot.
For the first time in 15 years, Nandronga could end the season without a major title in its trophy cabinet. After failing to defend this year's Skipper Cup, it'll be do or die for the once dominating force of local rugby against current HFC Fairbrother holders Naita Siri this Saturday. Vasnil Prasad reports.
Losing in the Skipper Cup final to Suva earlier this month has left the Fiji rugby's powerhouse Nandronga empty-handed so far this year. The Stallions have only one more chance to get its record back on track.
It's something that the boys are still thinking of. It's been haunting them since that loss. And
President Tiko Matoalu says they have utmost respect for rivals Naita Siri ahead of the much-anticipated challenge, but want to wrestle the trophy.
It's a big challenge in itself, knowing that Naita Siri won't be an easy team to play this weekend. Also knowing that Naita Siri is the new holder for Fairbrother.
For the past 15 years, Nandronga has been winning at least a title.
This is going to be the only time that Nandronga goes and challenges for this trophy in Ratokmbau, playing against Naita Siri, so it's not going to be an easy game.
With two arch rivals going head-to-head, Fiji Rugby Union is anticipating a huge crowd on Saturday.
We will not want to give the trophy away easily. It's the coveted rugby trophy in Fiji. So I'm just urging the supporters of the two teams and support their teams on Saturday.
Nandronga faces host Naita Siri 3 p.m. at Ratuzakambau Park in Nausori on Saturday. Vashnil Prasad, FBC Sports.
The Suva Grammar School's under-14 rugby team are well aware that they'll need to step up their game against defending champion Ratukandabu Levu School at the Powerade Super Deans semi-finals this weekend. The Nasese youngsters accounted for Assemblies of God High School 36-5 in the quarterfinals last week to book a place in the top 4. John Tambori reports.
Taking every game as a final is the mentality of this young grammarian side, who knows more will be expected from them in the semis.
Every game is our last game. We'll try to step up from the trainings and the counseling and whatever preparation that we've been preparing for the boys so far.
The young Lions will be relying heavily on teamwork and hope that one of their injured players return to the field.
Especially to our fullback, George Simpson. He is one of the main players of the game, so we're just hoping and praying that he will recover soon.
National Under-20 coach Cyril Mbombo says all teams should prepare well and not blame the referee if the game does not go their way.
We cannot use referee mistakes to take us out. It's how you prepare yourself, to inform the players the importance of the game and how you keep possession and be disciplined.
Suva Grammar School will be represented in 2 grades with the Under-16 challenging Queen Victoria School in the semi-finals. John Tabore, FBC Sports.
Former world #1 golfer Vijay Singh says he'd like to see more golfers from Europe participating at the Fiji International. Singh believes the dates for the event play a major factor and, if changed, could improve the diversity of the competition. Vaishnav Prasad reports.
While a little impressed with only 8 locals taking part in the Fiji International Golf this year, once a star, Vijay Singh has raised his concern about the number of overseas participants.
I think so. I hope they can get more and more, playing in there. It gives a lot more interest to the locals here. I'm a little disappointed that there's not enough Europeans here. I heard that there's only 8 or 9 Europeans over here. I'd like to see the dates change where they can, coincide with the Europeans coming closer, to Fiji. So I'm going to try to work on that date.
Despite this, Singh says he's ready to tee off tomorrow with more than 40 golfers.
But I'm looking forward to it. I've been around, seen a few of the changes that I made, and we've come in really well. Everything I hear right now is all raves, and so I'm all excited.
The organizers are expecting a tough competition.
But it's really turned out quite well. After the redesign from Vijay Singh last year, it's had a year to grow, and the course is playing really, really well.
The Fiji International tees off tomorrow and ends on Sunday. Vashnil Prasad, FBC Sports.
Over 550 million people watched the Fiji International on television last year, and viewership is expected to increase with top golfers Vijay Singh, Ernie Els and Scott Hender taking part in the tournament, teeing off at the Natandola Bay Championship Golf Course today. Felipe Nakaso has more.
The Fiji International Tournament, which has been running for the past 4 years, has been highly praised.
Fiji International has achieved far more than what we had expected. The tournament has been hosted at an international standard, ensuring all the requirements of the international tours that sanction this kind of event were satisfactorily met.
For participating golfers, it's not only about the tournament.
Last year we raised money with a $10 Fijian dollars for every birdie made, and last year on the redesign of Vijay's course there was 1,300 plus birdies. So to the pros in the room and to the pros not in the room tonight, we're looking for 1,500 birdies this week.
Golf tourists spend 3 times more money than the average tourist. And this is the type of market that we have been seeking for many, many years.
This year, more than 100 golfers, including 8 Fijians, are taking part in the tournament. Felipe Naikaso, FBC Sports.
That's it from Sports Tonight. Catch Angie later on with weather. And in the world of the weird and the wonderful, you might be doing more harm than good if you're not using your reusable shopping bags as often as you should. Details coming up.
Narang golesenia, Obama kita nakas, dorong bina kape on radio Fijuan, nandong ibit.
Ayaw benyana, dito barong na radio Fijuan, nandong ibisi, hindi natoka.
Guado ilaisa ingatoka, rong bina na heramakawa ina radio Fijuan ingatoka.
Radio Fijuan, nandong ibiti.
In new media tonight, this gaming laptop is just enough. It features a durable keyboard and decent gaming specs that will get through a battle royale with better entry-level options. It's Weather Time now with Angie.
Hello there and welcome to the Weather World. How can we not love the first day of August, especially if the weather is mostly settled and cool? So if you have plans for games or gatherings for later in the week, you will find out what it will be like. Taking a look in the west, mostly sunny, but the nights are pretty chilly. Eastwards from Pekhabarasuva, another cool and overly sunny day. And up north, quite muggy and expect a cold night. At sea, southeast winds 10 to 15 knots, moderate seas. For the tides, high tide at 9:23 p.m. with low tide at 3:08 a.m. Sunrise at 6:33. For tomorrow, now that we are sliding towards the weekend, it's looking pretty good. Tomorrow's temps, mild temperatures in low 30s. And looking further on to Friday, more blue skies are indicated. Well, you know what that means. More adventure maybe. And that's all from the FBC Weather World. Jackie.
Thanks so much for that, Angie. In Fijian Pulse tonight, we asked, will the Hibiscus Festival have the same feel as it was being held in Suva City?
No, because there's not many crowd in this side and it's far away from the city of Suva.
Of course, big time. Time of inception, it was incepted in Suva, and till now, it was always a Suva event.
It's expected for once. It will definitely boost the Latino business community.
It's a good idea to bring the hibiscus at Nasulu at Walebukrami, because it's a densely populated area. Most of the people in Suva living around that place.
Recapping the main stories for tonight, mill breakdown penalty to be paid to farmers. 21 families affected by TC Winston get new homes. And USP students raise questions at Budget Roadshow. Now for these stories and others, you can tune in daily to our sister radio station Gold FM. To our poll question segment this week, we're asking, should those caught drunk driving have their license taken away indefinitely? Visit our FBC website to answer. Before we go, our shot of the day sent in by Seriana Mbulewa Nonrakoro, the picture captured up in the highlands of Ba. Remember, you can send us newsworthy pictures and videos on email fbcnews@fbc.com.fj or share it with us via Facebook page FBC News. You can also follow and tweet us your news tips at FBC_news or simply hashtag FBC News. That was your FBC News for tonight. From the team and I, stay safe. Good night.
मैं नवनीत नंद नंबुआ से जैसे प्रेनी नोट मशहूर है वैसे रेडियो फीजी 2 भी सभी जगह मशहूर है। रेडियो फीजी 2 देश की धड़कन।
सीमा नकाशी से मैं रेडियो फीजी 2 पसंद करती हूँ सुनने के लिए। रेडियो फीजी 2 देश की धड़कन।
मैं हूँ अंकल किंग सिंगाटोका टाउन के टैक्सी ड्राइवर। जैसे रग्बी फेमस है वैसे रेडियो फीजी 2 फेमस है।
रेडियो फीजी 2 देश की धड़कन।